Give it a few seconds when I plug this in. He always says that.
Good evening, everyone's Community Events Center in Tyne Valley, Prince Edward Island, for your Thunderbirds matchup against the Western Rebels. Last time these two teams met was in preseason. I believe they were still in the process of whittling down their rosters, and the Thunderbirds and the Rebels tied 3-3 in that contest. Now everybody with full rosters out there on both sides of the puck. So we'll see the true measure here as the teams come out on the ice and get ready for the playing of our national anthem.
Those 1980s Minnesota North Stars jerseys are just on fire, Luke.
I wonder if that has anything to do with maybe a nice Al McAdam from Prince Edward Island, who played for the North Stars for a number of years. So after the national anthem here, we get to see the lineup starting for your Thunderbirds in net. Jacob Plourde. Up front looks like Shediak, Ward Levi, and Mitchell Young. And anchoring that blue line position, Svaneveld and Boudreau, as we get ready for the opening draw here to kick off this weekend's campaign. As we take on the Western Rebels, opening draw is won back by the Rebels, so they'll regroup. Through the neutral zone, broken up onto the stick of Boudreau. Boudreau through the middle of the ice here as that bouncing puck is played out of the zone. A lot of one touches there as Shediak takes a pretty good bump in his zone. And now Boudreau will pick it up. He's got a bit of time and space. He'll dump it in the corner, and Young in on the forecheck here. Goaltender out there for the Rebels as he'll work it up the wall here. Stretch pass just out of his reach. And that's going to make it all the way down for icing here. Short 32 seconds into the opening frame here.
Well, Luke, last time I was here, it was spring hockey, and the place was just abandoned. Lots of life in here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely bumping. Lots of people, lots of fans.
Smell the rink fries from here.
Must be the local hangout here. It's nothing else going on maybe on a Saturday night. Cross ice pass is kicked into the zone and then picked up here by Laird. Laird headmans to Cormier into the zone. Cormier, he's got Beliveau with him. One time for Laird as his shot is just wide of the goal. Francis holds it in here at the top of the zone over to Laird. Laird goes down to the low post here. Beliveau down to Cormier as Cormier will skate out of the corner. Runs out of real estate there as he centers. Walsh tries to get that shot away, but steered away. And now Laird from the blue line is his shot knocked down, but held in here by your Thunderbirds. As Cormier puts it out to the middle of the ice. Beliveau shot by Walsh. Delayed penalty. Looks like it's coming to the Rebels here. As that pass across the top of the zone will be moved back to Laird. Laird plays it off the wall and into the corner, and that's going to be touched up. And it looks like a hit to the head is going to be called against number 27, Harrison Hutt of the Rebels. And the Thunderbirds go to their first power play of the night. It's going to bring out Young, Limburner, and we got here a bit of a late arrival, but better late than never is Kingston Copage. Boudreau and Francis on the blue line for this power play. Limburner's going to step in here for the draw. As that's one back to Francis, as he'll keep it in the zone here. But the Rebels will get control as they chip it into the corner here. Boudreau back to break that play up below the goal line. Francis collapsing down here to help out.
A couple of big PI boys out here, Luke. They've been eating their potatoes.
Young picks it up in our own corner here as he'll settle things down. Mitchell Young in on the left side, chips it in, but it's off the linesman and then able to be cleared down by the Rebels defender. Boudreau going to pick it up here behind the net of Jacob Plourde. Boudreau, as he goes up the wing to Young. It's off his skate and then played to the Rebels here as they're going to come back 2-on-2. And they'll chip it in the corner as Limburner back on the back check. Pins his man along the wall and he tries to move it up to Young, but he'll keep a hold of it. Limburner's going to go for a skate here as he comes in the right side, steps in the middle, fires a shot, it's off a foot. As he'll go in on the forecheck now, able to peel it off the wall. Under pressure as that puck looks a little sticky there as it's fired down the ice. Kogan LeBlanc now for your Thunderbirds as he'll leave it back for Matthew Cormier. Cormier, he'll drop it for Laird. As Laird will settle it down behind the net, 40 seconds remaining in the power play here. The Riverview Guardian Drugs power play as Laird moves it up to Kogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc as he strips.
Oh no!
Rebels sprung on the break. And a big save there by Plourde as he'll sweep it away. Ends up onto the stick of Walsh as that, again, that puck looks like it's a little sticky here, Miles.
Yeah, you can even tell from up here. This isn't smooth ice yet.
Beliveau into the zone. Drops it there for Cormier as Cormier will step in. Going to be looking backdoor there. That closed up as that's put out to Laird, but off the stick of the Rebels defender. So Laird will be back to pick it up as the penalty expires, and we're back to 5-on-5, as Miles said. There's Landry now into the zone. Rebels out to center. As it is gloved ahead, as that was flagrantly obvious from our vantage point anyway. That'll move the draw back.
So Luke,
should be inside the Rebels zone, I would think, but it's just going to be opposite their bench.
This part of PEI, Luke, it feels like I'm in Petticodiac because I just drove and drove and drove and then I wound up somewhere.
I don't know, Miles. We're right on a major highway. You know, God's country and all. Zvoneveld with it as he'll play it back into the Rebels zone as they go to work regrouping through the neutral zone, as that pass wasn't on the mark and it will be called icing. Something that got brought to my attention over the last week or so is the hybrid icing.
Yes. Oh, you didn't notice that?
No, I wasn't aware, so I apologize any of the calls that I was ripping on any of the linesmen.
Yeah,
so we are playing a hybrid icing the same as the NHL, so they got to kind of beat it out to the hash marks.
They don't care what you think anyway.
No, it's true. I just like to get it right, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Good hit there from Shediak in front of their bench as Landry breaks that play up at center. Rebels regroup as their rink-wide pass doesn't quite find the mark, but they'll come into the zone.
Oh, that's a
pretty chintzy call there.
Yeah, I'm not loving that one.
It's going to be called tripping. Yeah, I think there's maybe we had a better angle on it. Try to give the benefit of the doubt there, but we're going to go to work on the penalty kill. So D-zone draw here as it's won back by the Rebels right out of their offensive zone. So they're going to have to come back into their own zone to pick that up as they'll regroup and look up ice here. Rebels over center and in on the left side. High slot shot, big save there by Plourde as that's kicked into the corner. Boudreau going to work on the wall here as that puck does come to the top of the zone. Walsh out there trying to take that line away, and it's fired wide of the goal. Rebels do gather it up, and they'll work away here on the cycle as they try to get their power play set up. Walsh out there as that shot from the high slot steered away by Plourde. A great save again. Another shot, rebound, and two good pad saves from Plourde. Johnny on the spot as that pass is off the mark, and it's going to make its way all the way back down to the Rebels' end as they'll regroup. Fresh penalty kill guys off the bench here for the Thunderbirds as it's cleared out by Mikel LeBlanc. Rebels try to pass through the neutral zone. Mikel there to close that door. And again, the Rebels through the neutral zone, trying to gain the Thunderbirds area here as the puck comes to Laird, and he'll fire it down the ice.
35 seconds left in the penalty.
Rebels again with a pretty near solo effort here on this power play as they've not been able to really set up anything on the perimeter as I say that, and they do it. Oh, delayed penalty is going to come to the Thunderbirds' Laird as they're going to say his stick was up. And a hit to the head. 5-on-3 for 17 seconds. And then got a nice $1.43 on the PK. 5-on-4 again. I don't know how true it is, Miles, but they say you're down 1-0 when you come off the bridge in PEI.
Is that a true story?
That's what I heard. They wouldn't have been saying it for the last 30 years if it wasn't true.
Well, see if they can bear down here, get through this.
I think the boys get a good solid 17 seconds in the penalty kill here as Cogan's going to play the top of that zone. Finney steps down, backdoor pass, good save there by Plourde. It's going to be blown dead as the net was off, but a great save there by Jacob Plourde as he slid across and closed the door.
Tracked that one nicely.
It's going to bring out Walsh on the penalty kill with Boudreau and LeBlanc. As that D-zone draw is going to come to the left of Jacob Plourde here. 5 seconds remaining in that first initial penalty. The bogus tripping penalty, I like to call it.
I'll agree to that.
As Walsh leaves it there for Boudreau, and his shot is knocked down, so it won't clear the zone, but we are back to 5-on-4. Zvoneveld out there on the blue line, as well as Boudreau with Cogan LeBlanc and Connor Walsh out there killing the penalty for the Thunderbirds. Pass down low as they're going to try to work on the goal line, out to the Blues. Shot through traffic is tipped. Good save there by Plourde, and now Rebels trying to go to work again as they settle it down. Shot short side. Good blocker save. Zvoneveld settles it. Not able to clear though. And it's held in by the Rebels. Down behind the net, Zvoneveld. He'll pin his man at the goal line. Out to the point. As the Rebels looking for a seam in. It's broken up there. Walsh breaks it up and Zvoneveld pokes it away. 45 seconds remaining in the hit to the head penalty to Laird as it's off the glass, not out by Zvoneveld as that shot bounces its way past the goal. Rebels out at the blue line here. Nice move, high shot, and they score. 28 seconds remaining in the penalty. And that puts the Rebels on the board here at 12-17 in the first. So I think moral of the story is we can't be taking these phantom penalties.
Yeah.
We need to get to work on the power play maybe.
Gotta move
we'll let them take the penalties.
Gotta move our feet a little better here and stop using the sticks, obviously. putting the puck in the net on a regular basis, so we can't mess around.
Finney stretches it out over there for Boudreau. Boudreau up to Ward Levi. It's held in by the Rebels as they'll put it behind the net, and Finney outlets to Boudreau. Boudreau up to Ward Levi. Ward Levi through the middle as that'll connect with Mitchell Young. Young in on the left side. He's got Shediak with him. Centers to Shediak.
Still loose.
Not able to get a shot away, but it's pushed aside by the Rebels netminder and then held in by Finney on the right wall. Puck comes out to Boudreau. He fires through traffic off a shin pad and into the corner. As Young will leave it there for Shediak. Rebels try to clear it out, and Finney's able to stop that up as he'll move it around behind the net to Ward Levi. Centering attempt.
Oh!
That bouncing puck squirts out here now, and the Rebels do get a hold of it, and they'll chip it past center. And Finney will settle it down in our own zone over to Boudreau. Boudreau looks for Shediak up the middle. Just misses the mark here, and now the Rebels back with it. Boudreau up through the neutral zone. And a bit of ping pong here as it's beat into the zone. Limburner's going to pick it up as he'll come in the right side, chips it down below the goal line. Bouncing puck in front on the sidebar. Limburner with it.
That was going
and a good shoulder save by the Rebels goaltender as the Western Rebels will come in the right side of the zone here now. Zvoneveld as he plays it off the end wall. And now Copage up the right side. It's broken up at center, but right onto the stick of Boudreau, who tries for Limburner. It's broken up now, and the Rebels will get a shot from the high slot. Glove down by Jacob Plourde. At 10:32, 31, 30.
Our little
few extra seconds ticked off there.
Little connection problem here with our score clock. We'll get that fixed up afterwards.
Well, it wasn't just your score clock, Miles. It was the guy in the box too, because
was he?
They let a good 4 seconds roll by after Jacob gloved that one down.
Oh, as long as the girls play good music, I won't be mad.
Yeah, there you go, eh? Low Rider by War.
Look, I'm noticing here right away, this Rebels team, they finish all their checks. We're noticing that right away. Like, they really keep you honest.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I think the conversation before the game got going here is they got a player on their team, Brogan Jason, wearing the 22, is actually leading the league in penalty minutes right now.
Is he from Petticodiac? Never mind.
I don't know if there's a Petticodiac PEI.
Never mind. He's probably from Miramichi. Anyway, moving on.
And that's blown dead as a glove pass. So that'll bring the draw outside the zone. So you got Landry, Bellevaux, and LeBlanc out there with Laird and Francis on the blue line. As that Landry takes the draw, is able to muscle his way through, and he'll end up on the stick of Bellevaux, And then the Rebels do get a hold of it and fire it into the Thunderbird zone. Francis up the wall here for Mikel LeBlanc. Under pressure back to Francis. Francis off the end wall, intended for Laird. He'll let it go by to Bellevaux. Bellevaux takes a hit, but able to get it to Landry. Broken up by the Rebels as they come through the neutral zone here.
Oh, we got a hold here.
The Rebels forechecking forward there just takes the stick of Francis into his hands. And he's going to be called 2 minutes for holding at 9:46. So your Thunderbirds
still wrapped up with him.
Offensive zone draw coming for your Thunderbirds on the power play. So we got Walsh, Cormier. And it looks like, can't see that far from here, as it's fired down by the Rebels, so they'll have to regroup, as that is Bellevaux out there up front, as well as Cogan LeBlanc on the blue line with Laird. Laird to LeBlanc. LeBlanc on the right side. Cogan with some speed. He's going to take it wide. Circles the net as he's able to hit Cormier at the top of the zone. Cormier, as he shakes off a check.
Oh, that's a trip
no call there.
All day.
It's a 2-on-1 here. As they shoot, they score shorthanded. At 9:12, Rebels put their second goal up to make it 2-0.
Yeah,
there's an argument to be made there.
More than an argument.
But here we are.
We're Not in Moncton anymore, Luke.
Ensuing draw is 1 to Walsh as he'll settle it down, moves it over to Laird. Laird as he'll go over to Cogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc
Ooh.
in on the right side as again he's held up, no call. And the Rebels will fire it high and into the netting.
We're just gonna keep it cool here, Luke. We're getting tested big time this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, again, I really try to stay reserved, and you want to play the game out and you play the calls that the referees make or they don't make. So, but again, there's a pretty strong argument there that there could have been a couple calls in our favor, but here we are. We got to deal with what we're at. Laird as he'll circle around behind the net over center here now with some speed in on the left side. Kale stops, pops, and puts it down in the corner here for Walsh. Walsh as he'll go to work on the cycle, trying to move it up to Cogan LeBlanc. Bouncing puck is held in across the zone just out of reach of Mathieu Cormier. And now the Rebels fire at the length of the ice. Plourde will set it up here. And outlet to Cogan LeBlanc. Cogan with it. As he delays, he'll look up ice here now. As he's got some fresh attackers here as he puts the puck into the zone, and the Rebels will clear it back out as Laird will pick it up under pressure here. Behind the net of Plourde, 10 seconds remaining. Stick of the Rebels goaltender and into the netting, so it'll be an offensive zone draw coming for your Thunderbirds with 6:29 left in the first.
Just so you know, Luke, the Masons' nickname as the Fridge has been Zanfeld approved.
Yeah, I was talking to Mark, and he loved it.
It's a thing now, so we're going to start using
he's going to start calling him the Fridge. We should put out a nickname list for everybody that's watching the broadcast, because we start calling him the Fridge, nobody will have any idea what we're talking about. As that puck is fired down, it's going to be called icing on the Thunderbirds, so it'll come all the way back to the right of Jacob Plourde. The Andrew out there right now for the Thunderbirds, as that is one to the point shot, bouncing puck swallowed up by
guys. We were just working out some technical difficulties. Apparently, I had paused our video here during the first period, so I will not be touching that button again. Man, JW would be some disappointed if he was here, Luke. Oh.
You know what, though? He isn't.
He isn't. So
he isn't
yeah,
here.
I guess we
so
can. Man, the butt quiet on the way over. Gosh.
Yeah, well, you know what? And sometimes that's good, but sometimes it's bad.
I can hear the wheels turning.
Big wheels keep on turning.
All right.
We are back, though. As the Let's Get Ready to Rumble theme comes on here. As the goaltenders take to their nets and the referee lines up as we're looking to open up the second frame here. As that puck drop is won over to Fridge Svaneveld and then chipped over by Shediak. Ward Levi will pick it, chips it down below the goal line as he's angled out. Young breaks it up behind the net. Ward Levi with Young, centered in front. Shediak on the doorstep. Hammers it 2 or 3 times. Puck just sitting there.
Nice.
Ward Levi centers, and it's broken up and into the corner by the Rebels defender. Up the wall as the boys battle here at the hash marks. Ward Levi in center looking for Young on the back door, and then it's cleared out to the blue, but held in the first time, and second time not so much. As Young will play it to Ward Levi, or sorry, to Boudreau, as he'll chip it in behind the goal.
Fresh legs out.
Yeah, sticky puck there. To your point about the guy using a lot of water.
It's frustrating to skate on for the first 5 minutes.
Beliveau looks for Shediak as he's gone for a change. And then it's chipped out of the zone here, and Francis will pick it up and move it out to center here. As that really good heads-up play actually by the Rebels forward, who was offside, and he curled back and dumped it into the zone so the boys could change. Stretch pass to Cormier. Cormier up on the right side over to Walsh. Walsh with Cormier, 2-on-1. Walsh holds to Cormier. One-time shot. A great save. Wow. Connor Walsh with a great feed over to Cormier. He one-timed to got it away quick too, but
that clean too.
Good save by the Rebels goaltender. Much as I hate to say it, but you got to give credit where credit's due.
That's right.
Pass across, broken up by Francis, ends up in the corner, centering attempt. Way off the mark, and that'll work its way all the way back down the ice. No icing as it was fired by the Rebels in the offensive zone.
Here comes 2-2 with some speed.
Yeah. And on the left side, cuts towards the net, gets to the forehand shot, rebound, they score. It's almost like a pass off the pads.
Rebound went right on his stick. Not much Flood can do in that situation.
2:07 into the second period. And it's 3-2 for the Rebels.
Yeah, this
here where it's
the passes and the
some water lying around.
Your passes and your stick handling when you're just so off.
D pass here is the rink wide intended for Copage, just out of his reach. Ends up on net though. And the Rebels will be forced to regroup in behind their net. A good forecheck here from the Thunderbirds as you got Copage here on the right side as he's got help from Mikel LeBlanc. Copage with a good hit. It works it out to center, and Finney will fire it back into the Rebels zone as Copage first man in. As that play is broken up just outside the Rebels zone and put back in there as they'll make a pass through the neutral zone here. Rebels over center, fired in behind the net of Plourde as that kind of hopped out funny. But the Rebels are going to go to work here.
Nice job. Boudreau in the corner.
Boudreau ties his man up. Centering attempt comes all the way out to the blue, mishandled by the defender. And now they'll have to regroup as James for the Rebels pushes it up the wall right onto the stick of Will Finney. Finney tries to go over to Boudreau. It's off of a Rebel stick, so he'll have to regroup in his own corner here.
Boudreau on his horse. Ooh, takes the hit.
Takes the hit and moves it to Copage. Copage centers it looking for Limburner. It doesn't find its way. It's broken up there by the Rebels, and now Finney back on the back check behind the net as the Rebels fire high slot shot. Rebound, good save there by Plourde. A great kick save on the goal line.
Save too.
And now Finney will chip it up the wall. Copage there, as that shot comes from the hash marks rebound knocked down by Boudreau to Limburner. Limburner up to Copage, bouncing puck. And the Rebels will dump it back into the corner here for Boudreau. Boudreau behind his net as he'll chip it up the wall, intended for Limburner. Makes his way out to the blue line as that shot is steered away by Plourde and up and into the netting. 16:01 in the second, 3-2 still for the Rebels here as we are just into the second period.
For those of you tuning in here in the second period, we had a glitch in the first period. I had hit a button I wasn't supposed to. We lost video for a little bit, and Mary will figure it out for me. We will not hit that button again, Luke.
Shot through traffic is redirected wide of the goal, and the Rebels will control here out to the blue. Shot blocked by Walsh.
Shot by Walsh.
As he'll
nice pass.
Move it to Limburner. Limburner on the left side with a bouncing puck as he'll fire it.
One-on-one.
Back on a one-on-one as Shediak circles the middle to Landry. Landry to Shediak. His shot just wide of the goal, and now the Rebels try to stretch it out at the far blue. It's going to be offside.
That's offside. Yeah.
And it will be delayed, so they'll have to go back and tag up.
Back to 5-on-5.
And now Boudreau. Headmans to
nice
Ward
pass.
Levi to Shediak, but bouncing puck is broken up there by the Rebels. Delayed offside, so Ward Levi will tag up. And the Rebels will come up the left side in over the blue as they delay, center it. Broken up there by Boudreau as his pass doesn't find the mark, and the Rebels are able to keep it in the zone here. Finney, so he'll play his man into the corner. And the Rebels 2-on-1 as Cormier with a good hit. And he'll settle it down as he'll look to exit the zone. Mathieu Cormier, he builds up some speed as he moves it over to Ward Levi. Ward Levi centers for Cormier, just out of his reach. And now that puck will work its way back to center. Rebels fire it in wide of the goal, and Boudreau's going to knock it down behind the net. His outlet pass broken up by a defender as he blows him up in the corner. Held in by the Rebels as Ward Levi is able to break it up high in the zone. He gets some help there from Cormier. Headmans for Young. High slot broken up by the Rebels defenders here. As three Rebels players not able to corral it down after a short bit, able to get it out to center here as Desjardins hits his man on the way in.
Yes.
As he'll move it up to Young. Young with the one touch. Goes to Kogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc, as he's got Limburner with him. Over to Limburner from LeBlanc. Limburner shot short side. As that puck is saved, and now coming up the left wall here. Copage skates into his man.
Lined up.
Definitely thinking twice as he put the brakes on.
I was going to say, he went down pretty soft.
Kogan LeBlanc to Limburner. Limburner centers it out to Desjardins.
With some room.
Desjardins headmans to Copage. Copage in on the right side. He's got LeBlanc with him. Kogan now with it. As he delays back. Tries to go to the net here, but it's broken up by the Rebels, and they'll come back up ice. Rebels on the left wall as Vonneveld steps into his man. Isolates the man from the puck, as they say. And now the Rebels will swing it around the other wall. Copage there. As Vonneveld collapses down, breaks that play up, is Copage as he'll get some help here from Kogan LeBlanc. Vonneveld steps into his man at the hash marks, and he's back as the Fridge moves it around to Limburner. Limburner chips past his man, but it is held in by the Rebels as Kogan takes a cross check there down low. Rebels try to keep it in. They do here as that clearing attempt held in. Rebels now settle down. Limburner as the shot from the perimeter is off of Desjardins into the corner. Limburner down as he'll punch it the other way, and Vonneveld as he'll put the backhand up and into the netting. But you know what? They're allowed to take a change then.
We had a track meet going on there, Luke. Must have been at least 7 or 8 minutes of the stoppage, it seemed.
Yeah, there was
like all sorts of
a lot of action. It's going to be a D-zone draw to the right of Jacob Plourde, and we get some fresh Thunderbirds over the wall. As you got Laird out there on defense with, let me see if I can see that far, Francis. Yep. As it's moved back to Walsh. Walsh has Landry out there with he and Beliveau. As the puck is chipped back into the zone by the Rebels. Francis shakes off one check, is able to keep that puck down low though. And then Landry down to help him out, Rebels. As they move it up the wall, up to the point. Walsh filling in that lane. And Landry now down low to help out as Francis steps into his man. Francis to Landry. Landry, as they're working it around down low, Landry comes out with it here as he'll try to outlet to Beliveau, and it's all the way down the ice. It's going to be called icing.
No, the intensity picked up there in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, we just crossed the midway point of the game here. 9:15 left in the second period.
I was talking the first 10 minutes about how the Rebels were finishing all their checks, and now everyone's finishing their checks. Kind of contagious.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where your Thunderbirds don't want to be outdone, so they're not going to down below the goal line, centered out front, shot. I think that even hit the post, rebound out front, and they're going to call it off as the net was off. So that'll bring the draw to the left of Jacob Plourde. So you got to be lucky to be good, but you got to be good to be lucky, Miles.
Nothing you can do about that. Net's off, and net's off, right?
Yeah, really can't dispute it.
I see they have the good pegs here. I saw them when I came in the building. It's the better pegs, not just the old steel ones that don't actually do anything.
They drill out the ice, Miles?
No. They're just better pegs.
Oh, gotcha. The extra spikes on them.
The extra spikes.
Yeah, down low here. Puck centered. Good save there by Plourde as he juggles that puck off the blocker. He's able to get it down on the ice and cover it up.
Tough time tracking that one. He was being blinded.
A little screen happening, a little screenage. So yeah, this period, the Rebels kind of, for the limited zone time they've had, have been able to kind of generate some opportunities there. As that draw is one. Down low to Boudreau. Shediak helps him out. He's got Mikel LeBlanc there, as well as Finney ready to jump here at any second. Boudreau hits his man into the wall.
Rebels had 4 guys on the puck.
Shediak there, he'll poke it up the wall to LeBlanc as it jumps out. And now to Ward Levi as Hill headman here. And you got Shediak in on the left side. He fires a shot, glove down as Mikel LeBlanc right on the doorstep at the Rebels net. Still 3-2 in favor of the Rebels.
Luke, you've watched Shediak play enough over the years. He's got that release from the hips.
Yeah, it's always inside, eh?
A lot of goalies aren't expecting the shot. All of a sudden, it's whizzing by their forehead.
Yeah. No, it's definitely been effective. As he got us on the board first. Great pass, as I remember it, Ward Levi.
Oh. Rebels are going to get thrown out of the draw here. They tried jumping.
Kogan LeBlanc on that draws. He'll push it to the wall. Puck battle down low. Rebels with it now as they'll regroup in their own zone. Young in on the forecheck here, and Rebels are able to get it over center. Desjardins the back check. As it's kicked out front, but right onto the stick of Zvoneveld, who outlets to Cormier. Cormier, he'll chip up the wall. Kogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc, he's streaming in the right side. He's got Mitchell Young, the shot! And glove down there by the Rebels goaltender. But a great pass across the slot area and a good release by Mitchell Young.
2 nice setups by Kogan here in the last 5 minutes. Next one's going in, Luke.
Yeah, eventually, law of averages would tell us. It's got to go in. LeBlanc on the draw again as he's able to pull it back, but the Rebels forward. Kogan shakes off a defender high in the zone as he'll drop it for Laird. Laird down low here to the hash marks, out to the top for Kogan LeBlanc. Cormier able to hold it in as he'll move it over to Laird. Laird looking cross ice for Beliveau. Beliveau leaves it for Cormier, Mathieu Cormier. High in the zone. So he moves it over to Laird. Laird, so he peels back towards the middle of the ice. Back over to Cormier. Cormier, he's looking out front to Walsh for the one touch. Cormier down low to Beliveau. Beliveau to Walsh is his one-timer.
He's ready to tee that up.
The Rebels were able to get a stick on that, and then they fired the length of the ice here as Laird's going to be back to pick it up from Plourde.
Minute 5
behind the
left.
Thunderbirds net.
Penalty.
Minute remaining in the Thunderbirds power play. It's going to go to Cormier. Cormier in the zone. He stops and pops. They're saying it's offside.
Offside.
As the boys may be questioning the call, but it's made now. 58 seconds remaining in the power play. He moves it over to Boudreau. Boudreau under some pressure there as the Rebels break it up, but it is back to Boudreau as he'll step into the zone, chips it into the left corner. Boudreau leaves it there, and Shediak will move it to Copage. Copage back to Francis. Francis to Copage at the hash marks. Back to Francis at the blue as he'll peel towards the middle, moves it over to Boudreau. Boudreau fires it through traffic, and then the Rebels try to work it out to center and do. Ward Levi chips it back into the Rebels zone. Landry in on the forecheck as he finishes his hit down low, and the Rebels will fire it back out to center. Fridge Svaneveld as he pins it up against the wall here, gets some help from Landry. Landry moves it back to Desjardins. Desjardins, the one touch to Ward Levi as that was extremely high. Extremely high. As that, he didn't even try to play the puck there. Just creamed Easton Ward Levi in the face, or the throat, with his cross check.
And the guy we've been warning about, Luke, that's going to spend time in the box, just picked up one.
22?
Yeah. Just shoved Mason. Oh, he's not going to get one. Oh, well, the ref's trying to calm him down.
Well, he did point to the box.
Yeah, he's pointing the box.
Well, for anybody at home that wants to see if you're able to rewind and just see that Ward Levi just absolutely. You know what, as a Rebels coach right now, as far as question anything after you got away with that first one, I would think I'd be probably just zipping the yap.
Yeah, I was going to say stop talking.
Yeah, quit while you're ahead. If all they're going to call is that 2 minute on him instead of the 2 game suspension on the cross check. I think we have the benefit now of going back and being able to kind of review that game tape, whereas maybe in the past it wasn't really an option. But that was.
Well, that's why, you know, in high school hockey and this level and all that, they just make it mandatory. You have to you don't have to video it.
No, that's right.
There's so much stuff to be questioned. It's such a fast game. Can you imagine if we just had one referee like in the old days? All the stuff you would miss.
Oh, certainly.
With the speed of the game now.
No question.
Anyway, after all that.
2 minute penalty.
2 minutes. Power play coming up.
Yeah, so that draws one back to Finney. And then held in by Finney. As it's played by Copage and Shediak as he'll chip off the wall. And Kingston Copage goes to work below the goal line.
Oh, nice move.
He leaves it there for Young. Young with it now. As he's up the hash marks, moves it back to the top of the zone, over to Boudreau to Finney. Finney, as his shot is off a skate, and that'll bounce clear of the zone here as Will step out, settle it down, and move it over to Boudreau. Boudreau, as he leaves it there for Shediak, who will then give it back to Boudreau behind the net. Boudreau outlets to Young. Mitchell Young, as he'll skate through the neutral zone with Copage. Young now circles down below the goal line.
Oh, it's a grab. Just pulled
And
his arm back.
Held in there by Boudreau. Down low, centering his pass for Copage. Not able to get it cleanly as he'll move it back to the blue line. Boudreau, he'll fire it through traffic, knocked down by the Rebels defender, and the net's off, so they're going to blow that one down with 50 seconds remaining in the power play. 3:34 left in the second.
It's a nice look.
Good tie game here still.
Right on the butt.
I understand we have the benefit of having a pretty good vantage point from here, so
Yeah.
The officials doing what they can. Nobody's perfect. So you kind of just got to play it how it's called. So clearing attempt held in by Laird here. So he'll move it down in the half wall to Cormier. Cormier, as he has Cogan LeBlanc
Cross-check in front.
in Ovi's office there. It's Cogan back to Laird. Laird will step off across the zone, step in, fires a shot off the crossbar, and now the Rebels back with a part break here.
That got the inside of the crossbar and just took an awful bounce out.
Just one of those things where kind of put yourself in a position to...
Perfect shot on Fluid. He went low glove, snapped that by him.
Yeah, they put themselves in a position and it just didn't pan out the way they'd hoped here, as they're going to continue this power play as Cormier will step in and delay. So he's got LeBlanc circling with him. Out to Laird. Laird over to Cogan LeBlanc, back to Laird. Laird over to Cormier. Cormier, as he's able to work it down to Beliveau. Beliveau tries to center for Walsh. The Rebels get a hold of it. They'll fire it down. It's going to be icing.
Got a little stuff going on here behind the play here, Luke. But this one defenseman's knocked Walsh down about 4 times that last play. Cross-checking from behind. They started to go at it a little bit.
No, you can't blame a fella after a bit for getting a little frustrated taking that kind of abuse out there, but Connor doing a good job of not taking a penalty after it. Offensive zone draw with 2:32 left. So you got Limburger, Landry, and LeBlanc out there. Oh, the old triple L line. As the Rebels look rink wide. Pass doesn't find its mark. It's played off the wall, and Clord will fire it off the glass, and LeBlanc will give it to Landry. Landry chips it in the zone here, and he goes in on the forecheck. Landry down low. Limburger there. Held in by Boudreau.
Referee got a puck in the side of the head.
Landry strips his man down low. Takes a couple hits. LeBlanc there. But the Rebels will move it up the wall. And Limburger, as he's able to break that up. I think he had a little slew foot there. But
that was more of a penalty than the 3 that we've had, Luke. Anyway.
Well, you got to get away with 1 or 2 here and there.
I guess.
Finney on the wall here is that battle.
Keep that out.
Mikel LeBlanc hammers his man on the wall. And here's Boudreau as he takes a hit to get it down on net.
Makes the play.
Limburger in on the forecheck. And now Young in on the left wall. Shot short side.
Right on.
Is swallowed up there as Shediak put it on net. I think we got to find out that all this little extra stuff is could cost us here if we're not careful. This will be an offensive zone draw to the right of the Rebels netminder. Shediak in taking that one. He's got Copage and Young out there with him, with Desjardins Voneveld on the blue line. As that draw is one back to Young. Young takes a hit in front of the bench here. As Voneveld steps in, and then it's chipped down low by the T-Birds. As Voneveld fires a shot, it's just off the near post. And now Rebels. As Shediak blows his man up.
He's got to be quiet after those hits, Luke. Could have got one there.
Yeah, the little excessive sell on it there might have been a downfall, but they're not calling it. So Copage here, he'll move it over to Shediak. Shediak, partial break in the high slot, gets to the backhand, can't get a shot away. Copage hits his man in the corner. Young in to help out. Kingston Copage. Copage plays it into the corner for Young. Rebels up the wall, held in by Desjardins. Desjardins, it's off a shin pad and across the ice, and on the right side here, the Rebels come in. Rebels look like they're at the tail end of a shift there, so no help from their trailing men. Desjardins rink wide to Cogan LeBlanc as he's able to play it on the good side of center, so icing waved off as it's rimmed around by the Rebels and then out.
5 seconds here.
Laird dumps it back into the zone, and that'll do it for the second frame. As after 40 minutes, T-Birds trail 4-3.
Shots on goal for the first period. Rebels 9, Thunderbirds 10.
And a few
Referees have
words
to
there
just
between
get these teams separated here.
22, the league-leading penalty, Brogan Chasson. He's got the most penalty minutes in the league right now. I think after he's got 2 tonight, that's 64 minutes in, what they say, 12 games, I think, Miles?
I think that's what our statistician,
Yeah.
Mr. Bedford, was telling me.
Yeah, that's really working at it.
Geez, I don't
5
know-
minutes a game.
I don't know what the home team is over there complaining to about the referees. I mean, it's been slanted here pretty bad here tonight so far.
You know what, Miles, the saying is the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Luke. I've sat in these referee rooms, working a lot of hockey games over the years, and you know what the referees usually want to know for stats? How many penalties have I given to each team? They want to keep it as even as possible. They don't want to be the deciding factor in a hockey game. It's got nothing to do with well, I mean, the hometown aspect is always a questionable one, right? But especially when you're in a remote area like we are today.
Yeah, I think, for the most part, there's been a lot let go, but it's been on both sides, so no complaints here. I think the only concern I would have is that cross-check on Ward Levi, when somebody runs the risk of really truly getting hurt. I mean, if it's a missed tripping call or a missed, interference or something like that, you can always kind of turn an eye to that. Yeah, it would be nice to have the call, but, it's just when somebody could be really seriously hurt, you want to make sure that it's covered.
It's funny when you look at, even pro hockey in the NHL, you'll see the refs just completely miss something because they're just not looking in the right place,
Yeah, so that hit on Ward Levi was about 4.5, 5 minutes left in the
It was 4:44.
in the second. I didn't see him out after that.
No,
Easton.
I didn't even, being looked at on the bench, I could see somebody was kind of attending to him, checking him out. But I was just about to say something too, right before he took that hit. I was going to say, the worst part is I don't think Easton's done growing.
He's had a heck of a game. He made a couple of really good passes.
Big,
One of them
strong
for
kid.
sure resulting in a
And a
goal.
good stick tonight too. He's tapped a couple pucks away and been hard on the forecheck. We knew this wasn't going to be an easy cakewalk tonight on the way over here.
No, certainly
I
not.
think the kids all knew that. We were coming to play a rough game
Coming to battle.
as we watch Trevor.
Yeah, he's definitely
He's thinking about going home to watch hockey later.
he's letting her dingle, as they say.
He's got a six-pack in the fridge, Luke, and he wants to get home. Let's get this game over with.
Well, we can say he doesn't have a six-pack in the fridge here because he's doing a great job on that ice. A lot of water, but
Can you imagine if it was the old days, Luke, and if we just got the hoses out? Ooh, jeez.
everybody, before you got to go to the dressing room and you'd have to take a turn on the straight blade.
I think I was in my, I must have been in my late 20s before I even learned what a hoser was. Bob and Doug McKenzie be calling people hosers. I'm like, what's a hoser?
Yeah.
It's like, it's the guy who loses the hockey game and has to go out and clean the ice. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, 40 minutes in the books on this one. Definitely no shortage of action.
Yeah, these are long hockey games. I mean, there's a reason that we carry a 20-minute roster.
Yeah,
These are, these shifts are not easy shifts either. There's no one going out here for 2-minute shifts in a game like this. It's up and down. It's like a track meet.
Yeah, it's like climbing stairs for 3 hours for the boys. It's always an uphill battle. Like you said to your comment about the ice being a little tilted,
Yeah.
for anybody that may be tuning in for the first time or not familiar with our hockey lingo. Just kind of referencing the ice being tilted in the home team's direction. A little bit easier. You don't have to put as much effort in, but
Thanks for explaining that. You know, JW is probably confused, wondering what you're talking about. Now he gets it.
yeah, he'll be using it next time he's on.
Actually, where is he tonight? Is he? Because last weekend he was in Nova Scotia. Pictou, wasn't he? He was in Pictou.
Yeah, with Larez. Their team won that tournament.
She's having a couple of good weeks.
Big time,
you
eh?
win a tournament, then you win provincials in a track and field event the next weekend. Geez, she better go buy a lotto ticket.
Hey, she's raising a lot of banners in the Walsh household. No, JW's away tonight.
Yeah,
He's
where's he tonight?
He's at Dalhousie University doing a little meet and greet walkthrough with his oldest son, Liam.
Okay.
Looking to test the water, see if it's maybe a place he wants to pursue his post-secondary education.
Maybe got a donaire for supper, maybe?
Yeah, Halifax Donaire, probably.
Probably.
Hey, JW's old stomping grounds.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We were talking about that over at the lovely, I don't even know if this bar had a name that we were at.
Oh.
Right across the street. It's actually in the fire hall.
Actually, I think we're not to mention that. That's on
it's
the
like a speakeasy.
Kind of on the down low, Luke.
Okay, well, I didn't say a word
Didn't keep that to
about the
ourselves.
speakeasy in the fire hall in Tyne Valley. Not a word.
That was the funniest part about this rink my first time here. And I was just saying how nice it is and how well it was built. And they said, yeah, the last one burned down. I'm like, but there's a fire station across the street. And they're like, yeah, it's volunteer. There's no one there. I'm like, oh. I'm like, how does a place across the street from the fire station burn down? It's not possible.
Well, it got burnt down by the fire, Miles.
Oh, the fire.
Yeah.
I get it. Right.
Maybe they had some aging infrastructure.
Well, if it's anything like the Capillet fires of the last 5 years, ooh, man.
Oh, wow. We went there, Miles. We went there.
Well, I mean, it's like every 2 months there seems to be, this place burned down. God.
Yeah, there's been some...
I'll tell you one thing.
I won't say it for sure, but they've been accused of arson around down there in Capillet.
Yes. I'll tell you, I was scared here 2 summers ago. There was a fire in behind the newly anointed Greenfoot Energy fourplex rink. There was a little warehouse that caught on fire, and from my patio, all I saw was smoke coming from the rink. Well, you want to see 2 Finney boys jumping in the car, racing down to the rink to find out what's going on. We were so happy to see it was not the rink on fire, because that would have put a little cramp in the whole summer hockey situation.
Oh, summer hockey, winter hockey, all the hockeys.
Just all the hockey, Luke, all the hockey.
Yeah, it would have been used in the Coliseum more, and the Avenir.
More old Coliseum.
Brand new ice plant in that.
Oh, that's right.
Brand new.
They put some cash into the electrical system there as well.
Yeah, they did. That was just this summer. So ice plant last year.
Yep.
Brand new electrical entrance in it this summer. One may think they're in it for the long haul.
Yes. Well, when the building's paid off, you tend to take care of it a little better, I find. What do you think the Thunderbirds were talking about the dressing room now, Luke, between these 2 periods?
You know what? I want to say be more physical, finish the checks, but I really think they've been doing that.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe a little more, maybe a little harder on the puck.
Yeah.
A little more sure, not throwing it away blindly, or, you know, just being a little more confident with it when you do have it, taking that extra half a second to make a good solid play. Nothing's really leapt out at us like it's been a poor thing, but we've had some turnovers, and if we can eliminate those, well, it's going to eliminate the chances we give up.
I noticed in practice the other night they were spending quite a bit of time on breakouts. Just, having that nice clean breakout out of their zone. A couple different styles of breakout they were working on.
Yeah, the zone exit's a big thing, and if the guys can't get it out of their own blue, it really makes it difficult to get some opportunities on the offensive side of the puck. Been involved
with so many teams over the years that have they've turned the puck over. Like if they just counted, like that's a stat we don't really talk about, is the amount of turnovers we have, especially at your own blue line, where it's just a matter of another team being over aggressive or picking up on your save. As we see the beautiful white jerseys come out. Shout out to David Bedford for keeping them extremely white.
You see the 50-50 guy over there, Mario, right by the timekeeper's booth. See him shaking up the magic over there.
You know the 50-50 guy is serious when he has a vest that says,
yeah, that says 50-50
I am the
on it.
50-50 guy.
Yeah, he was telling me that his granddaughter was playing in some sort of female hockey championship in PEI last year. 3 days he managed to raise $7,700 off the 50-50. He told me, you get out what you put in.
Yep.
We'll say he did do a walk through the stands here.
Oh, and the referee is going to be picking
midway through the second period.
Isn't the referee busy enough? Like,
yeah, he's got to pick the winning ticket. Miles, did you get yours?
Nah, I didn't want to take their money from them.
I got mine. He gave me an arm length, whole body length. Look at this, Miles. Look at this.
Hey.
A wingspan for $20. Laura would be so proud of me for investing our money in the 50-50s.
Well, you got to diversify, Luke.
That's true.
You can't just spend all your money on coffee.
Yeah, I want to spend it on 50-50s at hockey.
Yes.
I like your approach, Miles. Oh, they're not going to call it 50-50. We're just going to go right into the third period.
After we shut the door here.
Yeah, Shediak Young and Mikel LeBlanc.
A little tussle in here on the face-off already. It's going to be that kind of period, Luke.
Oh, yeah.
Just fasten your chin strap. Keep your stick down, says Mr. Referee.
That opening draw is one to Zvoneveld. He'll step over center and he'll fire it in behind the net.
On the sticky ice.
Yeah, that good hit down below the goal line is Young goes after his man again. Chipped out to center here. Zvoneveld breaks it up as he tries to go far side. Rebels will control as they'll dump it in behind the net of Plord as he'll sweep it up the wall here for Young. Onto the stick of Zvoneveld. Mason plays it off the end wall to Boudreau. Boudreau up to Mikel as it gets by him. And the Rebels are able to hold it in.
Get your tickets out, Luke. You might be a winner.
Here they are. Yeah, must remember that puck comes around the half wall.
6'9", 362.
I didn't win, by the way.
362.
6'9", 362. I'm in the 6'8".
Turn the clock off, people.
No, they're just going to let her roll. They're up by a couple or up by one, so. I didn't win the 50-50, and there's a defensive zone draw here to the left of Jacob Plord.
We just lost about 5 seconds, but we won't say anything about that.
As that puck is played across his own, Walsh sweeps it up to Beliveau. Beliveau with Cormier. Cormier with it now as he takes a little bit of a high hit there, but
I think he was kind of going down in his own, and they helped it.
Walsh takes his man right into the end wall. Beliveau now as he gets to the corner, same time held in there by Francis. And that'll be an offensive zone draw to the left of the goaltender here, Sam Morash. Cormier will be taking this draw. He's telling Walsh, I want you right behind me, man. As he tries to punch it through, Walsh there to break the play up, and now Cormier with it. As he moves it out to the blue, just out of reach of Francis, and Laird will be back to pick it up here. Laird doubles back in behind the net of Plord. As he stops, outlets to Walsh. Walsh, so that stretch pass out through the neutral zone. Rebels with a D-to-D action. And a good hit down low from Cormier as the Rebels will fire it all the way down the ice. Should be called icing at 18:08. Spends majority of his days at church.
Okay, I think you poured it on a little too far.
Copage as he'll play it right into the corner. Limburger there. as well as Cogan LeBlanc. Shot from Boudreau is off a player in front. Now Copage goes after his man. It's chipped out to center here to Finney.
It slows him down a little bit, but they
Rebels
just jump right by
coming
him.
in the left side. Boudreau there to keep him to the perimeter.
No!
Limburner and Cogan LeBlanc hit him.
Stayed up though.
As Hudson will pull it down to Boudreau. Rebels do get a hold of it though, as they'll circle, go to the high slot. Limburner there to break that up. Chipped up the wall there by Boudreau. Limburner at the hash marks, as
Block
that shot
by
is
Copage.
tipped high and into the corner. Boudreau with his man and Cogan LeBlanc. Chip it around to Copage. Copage, one touch. As Limburner hits his man. Finney there. As he'll fire it up the wall
There we go.
and make it to Copage as he cuts towards the middle.
Gets out.
Cogan LeBlanc with an
LeBlanc.
opportunity here. He's got a partial break.
Oh,
Tries to move it to the middle. It's broken up by the defender as
in
he's
there
going to get
all by
wallpapered down
himself.
there.
Gotta keep her cool. Keep her cool.
That the second man in hitting the guy when Cogan didn't have the puck didn't help. That's going to be called a hit to the head. So we are going to have the Thunderbirds onto the power play.
And that's where you got to show your restraint right there, Luke.
No, I guess they're going to call. They called Cogan on it.
Okay.
So the guy that comes in late hits Cogan when Cogan didn't have the puck because the other guy already had him pinned there. Gets.
I was just gonna commend him
Wow.
for not striking back, and I guess I spoke too soon. Oh, they're gonna call 4. I think I just saw 4 minutes.
Yeah, they called him a 4-minute
Oh my God!
head contact penalty.
Wow, that's a huge discrepancy there, and what we thought was gonna happen.
Well, it looked like the late hit from the Rebels player was going to be the call, but that shot through traffic, Plourde with a good save, and then cleared by Laird.
Again, Luke, that's another one we'll have to watch on the bus.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the
Tonight.
replay around the 17-minute mark.
17-minute mark. That's offside, delayed call.
Yeah, it
It's
should
gonna
be
go
all the way down. Should be all the way down.
Oh, geez.
No, they're not going to call it.
Some of the Rebel players talking to our bench. That's a great way to get them going.
Swing draw here as Beliveau steps in. It's one back by the Rebels as they'll do a little D-to-D drill.
Again, look on that call there. That's standard, you know. Like you have a delayed call, you touch the puck, that goes that way.
Typically does, but centering opportunity there. Back door shot is wide of the goal. As the Rebels go to work here, center pass is off a stick. As Plourde was
There you
able to
go,
break that
Walshy.
up. Now Walsh with Beliveau in a 2-on-1.
Gonna pump those
Walsh will
legs
come
all
in the
way to
right
net.
side. Backhand intended for Beliveau. It's broken up, and now the Rebels get a hold of it and regroup in their own zone. They push it up the far wall, but Boudreau's there to hammer it back into the Rebels zone. Rebels now look to exit the zone, but circle back. Rebels still haven't made it over center here as we look to kill off that first 2-minute head contact penalty. Shediak on the wall here as he's able to clear it
Gets
out.
enough of it.
So they'll again have to regroup in the neutral
Oh.
zone. They do
Boudreau catches his
gain
man.
the zone this time as they'll move it back to the blue line.
Nice stick.
And a good play to Cogan LeBlanc. We call it the phantom penalty. As LeBlanc fires it all the way down on net. Shediak here as he'll fire it from that short angle. And now the Rebels look to cross the neutral zone, but it's broken up by Boudreau. Rebels regroup again. $1:35 left in the penalty to Cogan LeBlanc as it's chipped into the zone by the Rebels, and Finney back for the Thunderbirds. He pokes it around. Boudreau with a hit below the goal line. Centering attempt doesn't
He's gonna
find
have
its
a
mark,
chance
and
here.
now
Oh.
Landry as he'll
Finney-
move
oh,
it back.
Finney
Finney
fanned on
up to Mikel LeBlanc, but it's held in by the Rebels as they move it to the far point. Looking back door as that puck
Let it go.
ends up onto the stick of
There we
LeBlanc, and he'll fire at the length of the ice. Or sorry, to Landry.
Landry. Great job by Landry. Finally knocked that out. 1
So
minute
we
left
get,
here in the penalty.
Fresh penalty killers out there in Walsh and Cormier, or Landry, sorry. Walsh breaks that play up, tries to move it over to Landry, but Rebels do get a hold of it there as they chip it up to center onto the stick of Zvoneveld. And the Fridge fires it all the way back behind the net. 40 seconds remaining now in the Riverview Guardian Drugs penalty kill. Rink wide pass, they connect on the right wall. Zvoneveld keeps his man outside as the Rebels rim it around.
Nice
Landry
play by
down
Landry.
low as he's able to poke it
Nice play.
out into center area. And the Rebels regroup. Chasson winds it up as Walsh will reach in. Zvoneveld breaks that play up, turns and fires.
10
And with
seconds.
10 seconds left in the penalty, the Thunderbirds
It's a great kill.
are able to ice it.
It's a great kill. Still lots of hockey left to play here, just under 13 minutes.
As we're back to 5-on-5 here as LeBlanc comes out of the penalty box. Cormier,
That's an icing.
as he angles it over, it's going to be called icing.
Didn't want to get too close to Fridge. In fear of
Good
getting-
job by the linesman there to call out the changing
There we go.
players for the Rebels.
Extra responsibility for them with that hybrid icing. They're going to be on the ball.
12:39 left in the third period. Still 4-3 Rebels. Offensive zone draw here. As Cogan LeBlanc is able to punch it into the corner. Young out there with him. As Cogan high in the zone, able to beat his man. Slot, but broken up. As Cormier there in pursuit. And now the Rebels will circle back. And that
It's gonna be
stretch
another
pass
icing.
through the neutral zone is called icing, so
Referee right on the ball there again, making sure they don't get their change in.
keeps them from changing up there.
Got some tired legs out there right now in green. Hopefully we can take advantage of this.
As you got Cogan out there with Young and Cormier. Laird and Francis on the Blues as LeBlanc wins it back and Young will chip it into the corner. Down low here, Cogan, LeBlanc in pursuit. As Young is there to break that play up, comes back out to Laird. Laird, as he steps in, fires a shot, glove down by the Rebels goaltender, Sam Marash. I just wanted to call him Cashmere. Way easier to say. 12:01 left in the third. Cogan LeBlanc again on the draw. He's able to pull it over to the wing. It hops over a stick or two, and now the Rebels come back the other way. As that's chipped into the corner, Laird on the back check. Young collapses down to help out, as well as LeBlanc. Laird with it now. He goes rink wide for Cormier. Cormier, as he looks over center, and that puck is broken up, and now Cogan LeBlanc back to Francis, goes rink wide to Laird, the one touch to Cormier. Cormier high in the zone, but the Rebels able to break that play up and chip it back over center. Francis here now as he'll settle it down, bouncing or rolling puck as he looks for Cogan LeBlanc across center. It's going to be called icing. So no change for your Thunderbirds.
Notice, Luke, we are one guy short on the bench. I don't think Easton came out for the third. Probably just precautionary as he did skate off the ice. So after taking that questionable hit that we're going to look at later.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the rules go on that one, Miles, as far as if there is a non. You just fire at the length of the ice.
I gotcha. I was confused
And
there
the
myself.
wingers leave early so that they can kind of get that waved off as it's hammered into the zone by Finney. Cogan LeBlanc in on the forecheck here now as he's going to try to force that turnover down low.
Dig in, get your stick out of there.
And it's picked up here by
Cogan
Copage
just-
as it's out to Boudreau. Boudreau fires a shot. It's tipped on the way into the net.
Cogan was looking for a hold there. Look
And
back
then
at the
it's
referee.
off the glass and all the way down the ice as icing's waved off. All right. Stretch pass there for Limburner, hops over his stick, and this time they're not going to wave it off.
Not going to wave it off this time.
10:32 left in the third period. Still a one-goal lead for the Rebels, 4-3.
I got to remember remember that saying, Luke. As soon as you cross over the bridge, you're down 1-0. I gotta remember that.
Oh, that's been the case since I. Probably then, though, you were down 1-0 coming off the ferry. The Rebels forward getting tossed out of the face-off dot. Again. They're throwing the winger out again. They should just move it outside.
Did you get thrown out twice?
I'm not. There's something there. He got kicked out of the face-off dot, and then he got kicked out. Got his centerman kicked out because he was crossing the line. So Finney over to Copage, but it's held in by the Rebels as they keep it in the left side here to Finney. Finney out to Limburner. Limburner's going to sweep it up here, intended for Copage, but it's off his skate. And then it's back to Finney. Finney to Cogan LeBlanc, to Limburner, over to Cogan. You're intended for Cogan, the one touch from Copage.
Nice stick lift.
As he moves it over to Limburner. Hudson's going to come in the left side under some pressure. He fires a shot, nearly handcuffs him. Copage right there for the rebound. As Limburner will dump it down below the goal line. Shediak here now. As that puck works its way up the wall. Knocked down by Limburner, but does get cleared, and Boudreau will fire it back into the Rebels zone. Copage in on the forecheck. As that's played off the end wall. And now the Rebels settle things down as they look for a stretch pass through the neutral zone. Boudreau breaks that up as well as Shediak, but ends up on the stick of the Rebels forward. He makes a good shot, but an even better save from Pleward as we cross over the midway point of the third period with 9:28 remaining in the game.
Not what I expected in the third, Luke. I expected a little more...
Pizzazz?
Well, a little more ferocity, I think, out of both rosters here. I think those first two periods tired them out a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely to play at that kind of not only at pace, but at that physicality. It's taxing. It's hard on the body. Rebels in a little misfire there, and Mikel LeBlanc will settle it down and move it up the wall.
It's Trevor's fault.
Held in there, the Rebels.
That.
Rink wide over to Zvoneveld from Desjardins. He'll gain center and dump it into the zone. Good forecheck from Landry and Beliveau here, as well as Mikel LeBlanc, forcing that turnover in the neutral zone.
See a lot of stretch passes here, Luke, this period, both ways.
Yeah, a little bit more maybe free ice there as the Rebels get a one-touch on the way to the net, back door at 8:46 and make it 5-3.
I gotta say it
for the home team.
Man, they've had some good bounces tonight. Wow, like that's, not to take away their credit here, but they've had 2 rebounds put right on their stick, and that thing there just fell into his lap.
Yeah, that's
frustrating for the home side here, especially for Jacob Flood, who's made a bunch of strong saves here.
Yeah, certainly not nothing directed on his side of it as far as saves and goals and shots and all that stuff. He's done a great job between the pipes tonight.
9 minutes of hockey left, though, Luke. It's not over.
No, it's far from over. As you look at the first 2 goals when we tied it up came fairly close together too. Francis plays it up the wall. Cogan LeBlanc jumps to the middle. So he's tripped up, no call. Laird jumps into the play, gets it to Walsh. Walsh to Cogan. Cogan steps in, turns, fires a shot, rebound. Walsh going to the net. Not able to get a stick on it there, and then Francis breaks that play up at center. Laird under some pressure. Francis able to chip it over the red line, and Walsh back to get it to Cogan LeBlanc. Cogan LeBlanc on the left side as he'll stop and delay. Comes back up the wall here. And then chip down below the goal line. Laird's going to collapse all the way down there as he pinches in. Shediak gets a high hit after the fact, so that's going to be.
I think he's
should be against.
I think the call is going against him.
It should be against the Rebels.
Well, you wait and see. I think it's going.
Yeah, you never know.
The timing of his arm going up was.
7:55 left in the third.
Okay.
So they did call the Rebels, but they gave him 4 minutes.
Oh, okay.
4 minutes for the head contact.
makeup action?
I don't know if you call it so much makeup as,
Calling it both ways.
well, you got to call that penalty. It looked pretty. It was like a flying elbow.
Yeah, they
Laird
don't-
with it over to Cogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc stretches it
on the
over to
stick.
Cormier. His shot. Rebound,
rebound.
bouncing
Oh.
puck is cleared out by the Rebels.
They're
And
just
now
gonna be
Laird
quick
all the
here.
way back down as Plourde will step out of the net and fire it up to Cogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc over to Cormier. Cormier back to Cogan LeBlanc. Cogan LeBlanc, as he'll wind up in his own zone, leaves it for Laird. Laird looks for the one touch up to Cormier at the center ice line. Laird over to Cogan LeBlanc. LeBlanc, as he goes back to Cormier, to Laird. Laird at the top of the zone, down to Cogan LeBlanc, back to Laird. Laird to Cormier, as this puck is moving around on the perimeter. Laird down the middle, over to Cogan, his one time off a stick and over the net. And now Beliveau will settle that rebound down. Cormier was across the zone, intended for Laird, but it's picked off by the Rebels. And they'll come back 2-on-1. Rebels try to go back door, broken up there. Centering attempt again, knocked down by the Rebels player, but shot is wide of the goal. Now Walsh will pick it up here for the Thunderbirds. 2:50 remaining in the penalty here. As Beliveau walks through the neutral zone, puts it over on the left wall for Walsh. Rebels get a hold of it and fire it back out to center here, and Francis is going to regroup in the T-Birds end. Francis off the end wall for Boudreau. Boudreau behind the net, steps out, looks up ice. He's able to hit Young on the left side. Young with some speed in the left side of the zone as he'll settle in at the hash marks. Move it back to Boudreau at the top of the zone. Boudreau, as he goes to the half wall, back up to the top to Francis. Francis, his shot through traffic is just wide of the goal, and it'll come back out to Boudreau. Boudreau shoots, he scores! C&I goal from Boudreau at 2:02. Makes it 5-4, and I believe where it's a double minor, 2 seconds will come off that, and they'll start the second hit to the head minor.
Great timing.
So the T-Birds will stay on the power play here, and that's the case as they cut that 2:02 down to 2 minutes. 5:57. Thunderbirds again on the power play as they make it 5-4 here. Just inside the 6-minute mark of the third period. Rebels get that off the draw, and they'll fire it back behind the net of Plourde as Boudreau, your goal scorer, will his outlet pass to Young, a little off the mark. But Shediak back to pick it up. Shediak to Francis. Croix Francis to Young. Young with some speed through the neutral zone as he steps in. Curls up high and he'll move it down low to Shediak. Shediak puts a backhand up and over the net, and Francis will settle it down here at the blue to the half wall to Copage. Copage over to Young, just out of his reach. Young to Boudreau. Boudreau to Young. Out front there, there's quite a stick. It's almost like a sword fight out front.
Literally.
Set up behind the net here is Francis. As he steps out, headmans to Cormier. Cormier through the neutral zone and into the right side of the Rebels zone as a hip check was coming his way, and Rebels are able to get a hold of it and fire it back down the ice. Cogan LeBlanc will pick it up. As he'll turn it up and into the zone. He fires a shot. Now I think that was off the post. And Beliveau there as Laird settles it down, but outside the zone, so we have to regroup.
30 seconds left here in the penalty.
As Cale Laird goes cross ice to Cogan LeBlanc. Cogan into the zone as he's pinned up against the wall, and the Rebels.
It's a nice play by the Rebel forward.
Fire it down the ice as Plourde will jump out and set it up for Laird.
Got right into Cogan's hands on that one.
Cale looks up ice here as he crosses over center and on the left side of the zone as he'll peel back and hits Cogan at the top of the blue line here as Cogan peels it around in the zone, fires a shot that's high and wide, and we're back to 5-on-5. We'll come back 2-on-1. They stay outside, fire a shot, they score. 3:45, and the Rebels, after just killing off a 4-minute, well, peeling off the second 2-minute penalty. Get a late goal to make it 6-4 here. 3:45 left in the third.
We put that one upstairs in a hurry. Lord wasn't expecting that.
Swing draw here. So you got Landry, Limburner, and LeBlanc out there, the old triple L line. Vonneveld and Desjardins on the blue line as Desjardins with it behind Plourde as he pushes it up the wall to Mikel. Mikel under some pressure as he collapses back down, moves it to Desjardins. Desjardins through the center of the ice there, and now LeBlanc with it. As he'll chip it up for Landry high in the zone, it's held in by the Rebels. And down in behind the goal is Vonneveld. As he'll chip it up for Limburner, his one touch makes it out to center. And then the Rebels fire it back in the zone here. Just over 3 minutes left in the third period as Limburner's gonna peel that off the wall, and a shot from the Rebels is steered away. Now it's Vonneveld as it's coming around the zone here for Limburner. Limburner able to punch it up there for Landry, but broken up again by the Rebels.
Just satisfied to dump that puck in, Luke.
And Desjardins behind the net as he'll settle it down. Vincent Desjardins. He outlets to Vonneveld. Vonneveld looks for that stretch pass for Limburner up over center. Icing waved off as it's off of a Rebels forward. Limburner down low. And the Rebels
It's going to go all the way down.
are going to fire it all the way down as Vonneveld gets on his horse as icing's waved off. And I think that is the reason that there is a hybrid icing.
Yeah, I guess we
It's
saw
actually when you're supposed to blow it down. Limburner pushes it up for Young, but broken up and shot towards the net there and steered away by Plourde.
Fridge was tied up in the corner with
Copage to
jersey.
Young, held in by the Rebels. Finally punched clear by Copage. Vonneveld back here now as it's dumped in by the Rebels. So he'll play it off the glass but not out. Rebels drop pass as they work it along the wall here. Vonneveld to Young. Young has a few seconds here to look up ice as he goes rink wide to Copage. Copage will dump it in behind the goal of the Rebels. Minute 36 left in the third period. T-Birds down by 2. Cross center. Shediak on his man as well as Young. And that'll end up on the stick of Finney. Finney stops, pops, hits Shediak, and then to Boudreau, who will chip it out to center. Rebels fire it into the zone here for Finney as he'll play it up the wall here for Copage. Copage off the boards, not out. It's held in by the Rebels. They shoot. It's high and wide as we're inside the last minute of play here in the third period.
all blue line.
Now Beliveau, rink wide for
Got room.
Copage. Copage as he'll dump it in behind the net and go for a change. Beliveau in on the forecheck here. As the Rebels chip it up the wall, an opportunity here. Finney back with Landry as he finishes his hit. They center it through the crease of Plourde as it'll make its way out to the blue line. Shot through traffic is off of a pant leg and then cleared by Finney. Dump in attempt is knocked down by Finney as he'll go D to Boudreau. Boudreau here as we have 15 seconds remaining in the game. Landry up on the left side as he stops, moves it towards the center ice. It's broken up now. The Rebels will turn back the other way. Rebels through the neutral zone. A little back and forth, in all alone to the forehand. Big save by Plourde. And time expires. And the Rebels able to battle one out. 6